Messi?
Yeah, the MVP of the league, I think it boils down just to the impact they had on their teams in comparison to other players throughout the league. I think we have several players on our team who helped us out a lot in terms of goal contributions. And on our team, we have players like Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Jordi, Matias, Campana. I think a lot of guys hold their weight and then some. So, I think it's an honor, and also it's great to have those presences on our team, as well as see how they stack up against other players throughout the league. You think of just what they've done this year has been amazing. So yeah.
Do you think that go ahead.
What was that like to watch Leo come into that match and score 3 times in about 5 seconds? It seemed like it was more theater, which I guess we've seen for 20 years from Leo, but you had a pretty good view of it. What was that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, from my perspective, where we were at in the game, for him to come in and make that impact. I think his first touch, the little curveball over to Jordi, and then led to a goal. And it just shows that whether he starts the game or comes in off the bench, he's ready to make goal contributions. He's ready to perform, and it's not always easy coming off the bench. So granted, he just had an international game earlier in the week, and so it's helps out our team a lot, as you can see, and resulted in 3 goals in the second half. So.
Do you think that that the MVP, MLS MVP, should it be given to the player who means the most to his team, or the player that impacts the league as a whole? And do you think that makes a difference in the case of if Leo Messi should get one or the other, or does he check the box for both, you think?
I think both are super important, what a player does on his team, but also how it impacts the league. You think, he missed some time this year with us, the Copa America injuries, and him able to come back and still have that impact. And I think it was 30 some odd goal contributions and however many games he had. So I think he had a great year. There are plenty of other players across the league who had great years as well, and I think it just boils down to maybe some stats, but also maybe how the player led their team, the situations they were dealt with, the type of games they played in. So I think there's a bunch of different factors, but the fact that he did what he did this year was pretty amazing.
I want to ask for the playoffs coming up now. You'll find out tonight. Can you give us a little bit of a scouting report? Montreal and Atlanta. Is there one team that you guys match up better against? Is there a team that you have more emotional attachment to try to beat? How do you see those 2 opponents?
I think our approach is just whoever we play, we're going to go there to win, or I guess for one game, since we have the majority of games at home. So whether it's Montreal or Atlanta, kind of bring it on. I think we're preparing in that way, and that's the mentality is whoever we were going to play, we're going to keep doing what we've been doing and go for the win, as always.
Do you favor playing inside? The Atlanta game would be inside, the Montreal game would be outside. It would be cold, but the other one's on turf. Does any of that factor in?
I don't really mind either one. We played in the humidity all year, so you throw us in cold conditions, we're probably ready to go. But I think that's part of the challenge in this league, is being able to go to different stadiums, different conditions, different environments, different types of pitch, and be able to perform. So whoever we're going to play, I think we're going to be ready for it.
Drake, go ahead.
Yep.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you about just raising the supporter shield in front of the fans the other night. That experience, it looked like you raised it a little bit too high for Messi to hang on to at one point. But just what was that experience, and what is it like for him to kind of want to hold it with you and Sergio and present it to the team?
Yeah, I was just ready to stand with the team and watch them go do it. But he came over and asked for some help, which I think shows how humble of a guy he is and how much of a leader he is. He recognized that I had a couple games that I captained this year, so a lot of respect between us, and to be able to lift the supporter shield in front of our fans, in front of our team, everybody that's supporting us all year was pretty cool. Probably one of the biggest moments in my career, and to do it next to our owners, Jorge, Jose Mas, David Beckham, Leo Messi, and Sergio Busquets is kind of surreal to me. But it's always moments like that. I just try and be as present as possible, because there's not probably many of those moments you'll have in your life like that. So a huge honor, and just a really, really cool moment for me and the team.
Rick, I have a couple of questions for you. The first one in the Club World Cup, we always talk about the national team and going to the World Cup. Well, you get an opportunity now to play in an actual Club World Cup. So my question is, how much do you embrace that opportunity to do it with Inter Miami, the club that you got the first opportunity professionally? And my second question would be about Friday. How important is it for you guys to set the tone? It's a brand new tournament. Anybody can win it. So how important is it for you guys to be at home without a good performance?
Okay. Yeah, I'll actually start with the second question since that's kind of right there, right here in the moment. Starting the playoffs off at home is huge for us. Having a very important first game, I think that kind of sets a tone. I think even this past game was setting the tone leading into this week. So I think we're just having that same approach and understanding that it's been a long year and we're going to do our best to manage the game, but also just go for it. I think we've gone for it almost every single game this year. So I think that's the approach, is again like that winning mentality, like I mentioned to Michelle, is any team we're going to play, we're going to go there to win, stay here to win, whatever it is. And in terms of your second question, it's coming up next year. Like you said, I think it's a huge opportunity to play teams on an international level. I think anytime you're a domestic player like myself here in the U.S., being able to play teams from all over the world, I think it's a huge opportunity. I'll be able to represent, players from the U.S., goalkeepers, and I think, it's just a different type of competition, different level. These are very, very good teams, so it's a challenge, and I think as a pro athlete, you got to be able to step up to those challenges and perform in those big moments.
Drake, the ceremony the other night, it looked and felt like a championship ceremony. You were raising supporter shield, but fireworks, confetti, everything. It felt like that was a championship ceremony. Now you have the playoffs. How is the team's mentality like as far as, will this season still be something to be celebrated that much if you guys don't go all the way and raise the actual cup?
Yeah, I think, again, winning the Supporters Shield shows a lot about how we did throughout the regular season, the consistency. I think, 4 losses, 8 ties, 22 wins. I think that's a pretty good track record, plus the points record. It's something to be proud of. But again, it's still not over, and there's still another opportunity to lift another trophy and compete. And so I think, it's great. I think it's great for the club. I think we're on a forward trajectory, and we're just kind of viewing these playoffs as another opportunity to get another trophy and to prove why we got the Supporters Shield. I think it's one thing to get it, but then to go into playoffs where it's playoff format, elimination games, more pressure, probably more competitive. I think, again, it's the place you want to be, in this league, is in the playoffs, and that's where we are. So we're just going to do our best to win games.
Some of you guys have waited a long time for a home playoff match in this stadium. Do you think Friday at 8:30 is going to feel like just another game, or is it going to feel a little different?
It's like the balance of just another game, and also guys this is playoffs. This is the start to getting another trophy. So I think we've kind of taken that approach all year. Is we want to play like each game is our last and compete and win and go for it. But again, there's might be a little bit of a different feeling. I think for me, I'm super competitive. I always try and have the same approach to every game and perform at my best. But when things are on the line, you might have a little extra oomph in there. Maybe your nerves are a bit more. You're a bit more excited. What's at stake. And so I think, this is going to be, a big game for us. It's kind of how we're kicking off our playoff run. So I think we'll feel it. I think everyone will feel it. And I think there's a reason why, you come this far to get here, but you also don't come this far just to get this far. So, we're going to really just compete. And, Friday, 8:30, is go time for us.
Drake, are you the type of player that's going to watch the game tonight, or you prefer just when there's a winner, you sit down with coaches and analyze the game?
I don't know. My evenings are different now. I have a baby. I might be changing diapers. I might be trying to rock her to sleep. So I'll probably turn on and watch. We played both these teams twice this year, and so I've played these teams multiple times in my career. But you know, it's always, sometimes I watch, sometimes I don't. It kind of depends on how I feel, you know. Plenty of film to go over and review. I think, again, focusing on us is super important, focusing on myself, how I'm going to perform, how I'm going to prepare, I think takes priority. And then there's a tactical bit that you'll get into, but I think for me, yeah, we'll see.
Thank you.
All right, thanks guys. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Yeah.